Good day, my scholars. This is my school channel and I am Alexandra. In this channel, we'll be tackling the JAMB past question for the subject English Language Year 2011. Please do not go anywhere, stay with us and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. So right now we'll be tackling questions 76 to 93. However, 76 to 77 comes with a passage. So I advise you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the My School website. There you can have access to the complete passage. Please read carefully, or you could pause this video as it is being displayed on the screen. Do not forget the aim is to read carefully for a better understanding. Okay, so moving on to question 76, the expression "think of the devil and he will appear" as used in the passage suggests that option A, like the devil thoughts must not reign in our hearts. Option B, evil thoughts are fantasies which exist only in people's mind. Option C, uncontrolled evil thoughts may lead to evil deeds. Option D, the devil gives evil thoughts only to those who invite him in. Okay, so the answer to this question is option C, uncontrolled evil thoughts may lead to evil deeds. Now, this is a contextual question which tells us to give the interpretation of the statements as is used in the passage. And before this statement, we'll see that the statement states, if you meditate upon evil, then you love it and you are ripe to commit it. That means you are ripe to do that which you think. Okay, you are ripe to do that particular evil thing that you're thinking. And you can see that option C embodies this explanation. So therefore, option C is the correct answer to this question. Question 77. Which of the following statements summarizes the argument of the last passage? Option A, heavy traffic on a merry and dirty road may lead to evil thoughts. Option B, the more evil we think, the more vile we are likely to become. Option C, evil people should not be welcomed as guests in our homes the same way we welcome good people. Option D, evil thoughts control the key to the human heart and no one can keep them out. So the answer to this question is option B, the more we think, the more vile we are likely to become. Now this summarizes the context in the last paragraph. Now this type of question wants candidates to prove a statement is wrong or right by evidence or argument, as stated in the passage or the context. Now, this is a summary, and in summary, you need to understand the subject matter. That is, you need to understand the text, or you need to understand the last paragraph in this context, in this instance. And also, you need to derive a theme, a message, a general message. So, option B, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. Question 78 to 81 comes with a different passage, so I advise you pause this video and click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the My School website. There you can have access to the complete passage, or you can pause this video as it is being displayed on the screen. Do not forget the aim is to read carefully and understand the context. Okay, so moving on to question 78. A suitable title for the passage is option A, energy from living things. Option B, electricity and living creatures. Option C, biocell and scientific discoveries. Option D, the biocell's future. The answer to this question is option D, the biocell's future. Now let's analyze the passage. The first paragraph talks about the new power supply and how it has caused excitement among the scientists. Now paragraph 2 tells us the name of this new power supply, which is biocell, and it tells us what biocell will be. Okay, it tells us what biocell will accomplish or is able to accomplish, and it tells us how biocell will be useful for us. So if you notice the tense used in paragraph 2, which is the body, is all in future tense, which is will. Okay, so paragraph 3 tells us the standpoint of the writer. That is, it tells us that electricity from living thing is not a new thing. Man has discovered electricity from fish, from lightning, and so he does not understand why the scientists are excited about the new discovery. However, he still acknowledges as a new power supply. So from this standpoint, we can conclude that option D is the correct answer to this question. Question 79. The writer's posture, as conveyed in the statement electricity from living cells is no new idea, can be described as option A, ineffectual, option C, contentious, option C, logical, option D, unguarded. The answer to this question is ineffectual. Ineffectual simply means not significant or not creating a desired effect. Now, the reason why it is not significant is because this is a new discovery, a new power supply called biocell, and it is envisaged that it will do much more for us as humans. Okay, but then the writer's standpoint is that scientists should not be excited about this new discovery because man has always found electricity in human beings, and moreover, this new power supply, there's no mass production of it. What we use is the old power supply. So why should scientists be excited now? The position of the writer or the posture of the writer is quite insignificant to the discovery of a new power supply. It is not significant, it's quite sentimental. So we cannot say it is logical, it's not contentious. Contentious means controversial, something you can argue about. So the answer to this question, the best answer to this question is option A, ineffectual. Question 80. The inventors of biocell justified the need for it by saying that it would, option A, develop ways for changing biocells into fuel for use, option B, yield a source of energy without much spending, option C, produce electricity for all types of machine, option D, produce signals to guide all ships and other vessels. The answer to this question is option B, and we can find this in paragraph 2. So one of the things that we hope biocell will accomplish is to supply power cheaply. Okay, and you can see yield a source of energy without much spending. So option B is the correct answer to this question. Do not forget that you can take practice questions with our simulated JAMB CBT past questions. All you need to do is you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the Myschool website. There you can have access to download Myschool mobile app for your Android phones and Myschool software for your computers and laptops. Please go ahead and download and start practicing for your upcoming examination. Now moving on to question 81. According to the passage, electricity was first discovered in option A, hearts and brains, option B, muscles of animals, option C, lightning, option D, fish. The answer to this question is option D, and we can find this in the third paragraph. So it tells us that man first discovered a strange shock in fish, and then lightning was the second. So the first is fish, which is option D. Option D, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and then tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos. Question 82 to 91 comes with another passage, which is a register. So I'd advise you repeat the process by pausing this video and clicking on the link in the description below, which takes you to the Myschool website. There you can have access to the complete passage, or you pause this video as it is being displayed on the screen. Do not forget, read properly, read carefully, and understand the passage. Okay, so moving on to question 82. In question number 16 above, choose the best option from letters A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, well-defined, option B, fast-paced, option C, favorable, option D, social. Now, if you've read this passage, you see that it talks about change as an aspect of human existence. And we see that the pattern number 16 is meant to describe change or qualify change, which is produced by technology and industrialization. So when we think of technology and industrialization, we think of something developing quickly or fast. So that is why fast-paced is the best answer to this question, because it qualifies change in this content appropriately. So we are talking about an amazing fast-paced change spawned or produced by technology and industrialization. So the answer to this question is option B, fast-paced. Question 83. In question number 17 above, choose the best option from letters A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, knowledge of, option B, attitude to, option C, commitment to, option D, opinion of. Now in this context, this pattern number 17, we see that it's trying to describe man's obligation, man's engagement in promoting and defending change, man's devotion. And we can see that a word that is synonymous to what I've just mentioned is commitment. Okay, that's to do with your responsibility, your devotion to something, your engagement to something. Okay, so option C, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. Question 84. In question number 18 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, customs. Option B, companies. Option C, trade zones. Option D, variations. Okay, so this part numbered 18 is meant to describe alternatives, okay, alternative varieties. So we can see that variation is a word that can fit into this context, okay, because it talks about the commitment to promoting and defending change is a deliberate effort of creating variations. So option D, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. Question 85. In question number 19 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, repercussions. Option B, clouds. Option C, pressure. Option D, implication. Now, the answer to this question is repercussion. What is repercussion? Repercussion is an unintended consequence. Now, if you look at the gap numbered 19, it is meant to describe a consequence. It is meant to we think of a consequential occurrence. Now, it says the variation that man creates or establish results into an unfavorable climate, which stimulates a threatening consequence. So we think of consequence to fill that gap, but another word for consequence there that we can use to fill that gap is repercussion, because it is an unintended consequence, something that man does not want to happen, one that man does not welcome. Okay, it just happened. But when we talk about implication, implication is a conclusion drawn from a statement. So we can see that option A best fits into this context, and so it is the answer to this question. Question 86. In question number 20 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, an acceptable. Option B, a foremost. Option C, the only. Option D, the last. Now, the answer to this question is a foremost. Now, you see that in this context, the part labeled or number 20, we see that this part is supposed to describe a top or a leading global issue. So they say climate change is a leading or a top global issue. So that is the word that should fit into that concept. And we see that a word synonymous to that in this option is a foremost. So a foremost is the best answer because it means leading or the topmost. Okay, so the answer to this question should be option B, a foremost. Question 87. In question number 21 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, popularity. Option B, energy. Option C, ingenuity. Option D, incapability. The answer to this question is option C, ingenuity. Ingenuity simply means creativity from the word creation and inventiveness from the word invention. Okay, so this passage talks about climate change, which is as a result of human actions and human activity. Okay, so it tells us that human commitment to promoting and defending change leads to climate change. Okay, which is an unfavorable climate condition. Okay, so it also tells us that climate change is the foremost, that is the top global issue, and climate change is a test of Africans' ingenuity. It's a test of African creativity, a test of African invention. Okay, so that's the answer to the question, and so option C is the correct answer to this question. Do not forget that you can ask questions. And how do you ask questions? By using the link provided in the description below. Click on this link, it takes you to the Myschool website. There you can ask as many questions as possible and solutions will be provided to you within a short period of time. Now moving on to question 88. In question number 22 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, geography. Option B, society. Option C, system. Option D, life. Now, in this context, it talks about climate change is a disturbance in human - an ecosystem. Now, it's a disturbance in human life and ecosystem. Life in this context means the existence of human beings generally, okay? So option D is the best answer to this question because it fits into this context appropriately, and so therefore option D is the final answer to this question. Do you have better steps, explanation, or solutions to any of this question? If yes, feel free to use the comment section below, indicate the question and the solutions you would like to share. Question 89. In question number 23 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, command. Option B, demand. Option C, warming. Option D, supply. The answer to this question is option C, warming. So it talks about global warming. Global warming is a gradual increase in the temperature of the Earth's surface. So option C is the correct answer to this question. Question 19. In question number 24 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, structure. Option B, paints. Option C, emotion. Option D, emissions. The answer to this question is option D, emissions. When you look at the part labeled 24, you see it's supposed to describe greenhouse discharge or greenhouse release, and we can see that emission is synonymous to this word, and therefore option D is the correct answer to this question. Question 91. In question number 25 above, choose the best option from letter A to D that best completes the gap. Option A, notable. Option B, liable. Option C, credible. Option D, flexible. The answer to this question is option B, liable. Why? Because liable means responsible by law, and it also means legally acceptable. Okay, so now let's take a look at the context in which we should use or apply this option. Now it talks about Africans wanting the world to take responsibility for the global change, or the climate change rather, and the writer says that this should not or cannot be termed as liable. Okay, it cannot be termed as a responsibility by law. It cannot be legally accepted. Okay, it's not legally accepted, so it cannot be termed as liable. So legally, it's not accountable. So option B therefore is the correct answer because it best fits into this context. Option C is a very good option also, but because we have liable, which has to do with a legal accountability, option B therefore suits this passage or suits this context appropriately. So therefore option B is the best answer to this question. Question 92. Select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. My eldest son, who is in Lagos studying English. Option A, only my son is in Lagos studying English. Option B, my only son is in Lagos studying English. Option C, one of my sons is in Lagos studying English. Option D, my sons are in Lagos but only one is studying English. The answer to this question is option C, one of my sons is in Lagos studying English. Now let's analyze this statement together. My eldest son. So imagine a parent coming to tell you my eldest son. This tells us that he or she should have a younger son. So my eldest son tells us that this person has many sons, maybe more than two, maybe two or more rather. So my eldest son tells us that there are a lot of sons involved. My eldest son, who is in Lagos. Now this eldest son is in Lagos. Okay, this is telling us more about this particular person. This is telling us more about this particular person, no other person but this particular person. Okay, and this studying English is also telling us more about my eldest son. So we can see that in option C it explains or convey what I've just said. Okay, one of my sons is in Lagos studying English. So therefore option C is the best answer to this question. Question 93. Select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. If I went to the village, I would visit the king. Option A, if I go to the village, I will visit the king. Option B, I did not go to the village and I did not visit the king. Option C, all the times I went to the village, I also visited the king. Option D, I will visit the king when I go to the village. The best answer to this question is option B, I did not go to the village and I did not visit the king. So the answer to this question is option B, because option A, if I go to the village, I will visit the king, has just been restructured. It is the same thing in option A. Okay, well, this is went, which is a past tense. This is go, this is a present tense. This is will, the present tense. So it has been restructured. Also in option D, it has only been restructured. I will visit the king when I go to the village. It does not tell us the information conveyed in that sentence, in this statement, okay? But the information conveyed in this statement is in option B. I did not go to the village. He actually went somewhere, okay, but it did not go to the village. And also, it did not visit the king. So this is the information conveyed in this sentence, and so therefore, it is the best answer to this question. We've come to the end of this wonderful segment, and I believe you enjoyed every bit of it. Please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and then tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.